Good morning, friends. Happy Friday. So, like I talked in my last video, we are going to do Figure It Out Friday. And so for Figure Out Friday, we are going to actually make our own hummingbird feed. And so we're going to do a little lesson on hummingbirds. Right now, we are going to get the hummingbird feeders, and we're walking that way. And we're going to take these hummingbird feeders down because I'd say and you'll have to excuse this because now I understand what Miss Sally's talking about. Every few days you have to replace your hummingbird feed. Otherwise, it can make the hummingbirds sick when they actually arrive. So I'm going to take these down and then I'll meet you at the kitchen. Hope you liked that fall. So basically what you're going to do, and this is actually one of my older feeders and one of the little flowers is broken off of it, is you're going to empty the feeder out and you're going to clean it. And I've got my feeders in my sink and we're about to dump them out. And you'll notice I have ants that have decided that they really like my feeder as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rinse them out and clean them. Hummingbirds really like the color red, and so that's why you'll notice that almost every hummingbird feeder that I've ever seen at least has red flowers where they actually get their nectar. If you want to clean that out, make sure there's nothing blocking it. And then here's my second feeder. And I'll try to make it fall again. Spin that. Rinse it out. And then while these rinse out and dry, I'll leave them on the other side of the sink to dry out. We're going to take a trip to the couch and talk about hummingbird migration as well as our recipe for their food. And we're going to do a little pattern activity with our recipe. Okay guys, so I found this really cool website that actually gives you recipes but also talks about how the hummingbirds migrate. And so if you look here, we have a migration pattern. And today is April the 10th. And it's saying that by around April the 10th, between April 1st and April the 10th, that they should be in our area because we're right here. So the migration during the cold months, they go to Central America or Mexico. And then they start to fly all the way back here. So in March, they start here, and then they move up, and they keep going. And then they get to Tennessee about April 10th, and they continue northward. And then they also fly back down when it starts to get cool. So if we go further down, I wanted to show you what hummingbird we have. So the majority of the hummingbirds we see here are the ruby-throated hummingbirds. And typically, the first ones that make it here are the males and then the females. So let's get to our recipe. So making the recipe for your hummingbird feed is actually very easy. If you want to make 1 cup of nectar, all you do is boil 1 cup of water and add 1/4 cup of sugar. And then you wait for that to dissolve, and then you let it cool completely, and then you pour it into your feeders and you hang your feeders. So if I wanted to make 2 cups, I would use 2/4 cups. So I would take a 1/4 cup and I would scoop it 2 times out of the sugar bag. If I wanted 3 cups of water, it goes 1, 2, 3. So if you look at this, it goes 1/4, 2/4. How many 4 cups of sugar would I need? If you said 3/4, you would be correct. And then if I wanted to make 4 cups of their feed, how many would I need? 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, 4/4. And that's actually a fractional whole. So for every 4 cups of water, I could do 1 cup of sugar. I think it is about time for us to make some hummingbird feed. Hello, it's time to make some hummingbird feed. So I have my 1/4 scoop, and I also have my measuring cup, and I'm going to show you how to use a measuring cup appropriately as well. So what you need to do when you measure something, you're going to get down at eye level so you can actually see the marks. So today I'm going to make 3 cups of feed. Who can remember how many cups of sugar I should do for my 3 cups of water? Remember, 1 cup is 1/4, 2 cups is 2/4, and 3 cups would be 3/4. So I'm going to start by filling this up with 3 cups of water. Okay, so if we get at eye level, we should be able to see our 3 cup mark. And once our water gets still, it looks like I need to add just a little bit more water. And we are sitting right at 3 cups of water. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our 3 cups of water and we're gonna pour it in to a pot. And we're gonna bring this water to a boil. So we're going to turn on our eye. By the way, you need an adult to do this for you, help you with it. And we're going to bring this water to a boil. So once we bring this water to a boil, then we're going to add our sugar. Now it's time to wait. Okay guys, so while we are waiting for our water to boil, we're gonna go on and measure out our sugar. So we just have plain old regular sugar. That's all these hummingbirds really need. You don't need to use anything that's artificially sweetened. You do not need to use honey or anything like that because it can actually hurt them. And so what we're going to do is we're going to go on and pre-measure our sugar. And remember, if we were doing 1 cup of water, we would do 1/4 cup of sugar. But we're doing 3 cups of water. So how many of these would I need to scoop out? If you said 3, you'd be right. So what we're going to do is we're going to scoop out our sugar. 1, 2, and 3. We are 1 more of these away from actually being a full cup of sugar, which I think is pretty cool. And if you notice to the side, our water is starting to come to a boil. Let's do this. Okay, our water is boiling, and what we're going to do now is we are going to take our sugar and we're going to pour it in and we're going to stir it. It doesn't take very long for the water to dissolve because the sugar to dissolve, not the water, because the water that's boiling is so hot that it makes the sugar change its state, which that's science, which I think is really cool. So what we're going to do is we're going to stir this until it dissolves, and then once it's completely dissolved, we're going to set it to the side and let it cool, because you don't need to put hot hummingbird feed into the hummingbird feeders. It can damage them. So we've got it nice and boiling. I'm going to lower my temperature to medium now and turn it off. because our sugar is completely dissolved. All it looks like is water. So now what we're going to do is we're going to move this to a cool eye and let it just slowly get back to regular room temp. Okay, so now what we're going to do is I have transferred the nectar into something that has a little tip so I can pour it more easily. And we are going to start pouring our nectar back into our feeders so we can feed our hummingbirds. One. And then replace the tap. Make sure it's threaded appropriately, otherwise you're going to lose your feed. There's one done. And then we've got the big boy to do. Make sure I'm gonna go on and flip it. There we go. And the big boy. So this is probably my favorite feeder. It's hand painted and it's very pretty. And the big boy. I'm just ready for these hummingbirds to show up. I've been waiting very patiently and I'm very excited to see them enjoy what I've made for them. Now, you can buy hummingbird food at the store, but considering we're quarantined right now, I don't think that you'll actually be able to get out and do that. Plus, this is far cheaper to make. I spattered water on me. It's far cheaper to make, and it's healthier for them. All right, let's take our feeders back outside. Alrighty. We have our fresh hummingbird feeders, and we're gonna hang them back in their little homes. And we will continue on with our day. Actually, put this one right here. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me on Figure It Out Friday. I sure do miss you. I hope you guys are having a good time off, and I hope to see you very soon.